Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
I was muted. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Game Over Winnipeg. My name is Brady. I'll be doing the solo cast tonight. Wow. What a game. What a finish. Really exciting game. Did you guys have any flashbacks by chance? What was that final call on the last goal? We'll chat all about it. I'll be honest, that game was a lot. There was more goals in that game than I definitely expected. Having Connor Hellebuyck going up against Jake Ottinger, two of the best goalies in the league, you expect, a game that is going to be a little more tight knit on the defensive side of things. At the end of the day, a lot of goals in that one. But hey, do you think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's the World Cup, hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Oh boy, where to start on that game? Just an overview on the game. Honestly, I thought that the Jets kind of got outplayed by the Stars, even though they did win. If you're an analytics guy, the the expected goals did not look good for the Jets. I think the Stars doubled them in expected goals, but at the end of the day, just win, baby. That's all you can really ask for. And the Jets do come out on top. Was it 5-4, 4-3? I can't remember now. Came out 5-4 at the end of overtime. But that game should not have gone to overtime. Not at all. Absolutely. I mean, you look at the last goal. We'll get into that real quick. But again, another Jets. They start to turtle in the third period, and then everything all goes to shit. And a 2-goal lead should be safe. I know it's the the whole mantra, it's the worst lead in hockey, but come on, when there's 2 minutes left in a game, you should be able to lock that down. But hey, the main thing is that last goal should not have counted whatsoever. Tonight was an absolutely awful game by the officials. There were 2 goals. One of them only counted, where both of them, the refs were completely oblivious as to what's going on in the play. If you missed it, the Jets are trying to lock it down. It's the last 2 minutes of the game, and the Stars have a power play. Right as Neil Pionk, or not Neil Pionk, right as who was it? Whoever it was. Right as whoever it was coming out of the box to end the power play, there was a scrum in front where Jamie Benn and Josh Morrissey are battling in front. I'll admit, Josh Morrissey does kind of give Jamie Benn a bit of a shove, and on the side of the net, Hellebuck's head gets kind of pinned up between Jamie Benn and the post, to which his helmet comes off, and it looked pretty painful, honestly. Like, Hellebuck goes down to the ice immediately. He's laying on the ice helmetless, and the play continues. It looks like his neck even kind of stretched around the post. So, like, a really, really scary thing for Jets fans. Connor Hellebuyck is by far the most important player on this team. If he were to go down with an injury, you can pretty much kiss the season goodbye. But then the puck rims around from behind the net. So it starts out behind the net. It rims around to Jason Robertson, who's on the left point. And this entire time, Connor Hellebuyck is laying on the ice with no helmet on, off to the side, with his hands and glove covering his head. And he is hurt. He is not moving whatsoever. No whistle, nothing. I don't understand how the referees could not have seen that either one, the goalie's hurt, two, his helmet's off, and three, the play should be dead. Like, I just don't understand. Then so obviously Jason Robertson takes the puck, shoots it into the net, into the wide open net, and hey, the game's tied. And then the Jets do what is right here, and they challenge the play for the fact that there should have been a stoppage in play. They do not challenge for goalie interference. That's a very important distinction we need to make here. And what ends up happening is that the referees, and he even says this in his statement, along with the help of the Situation Room, determined that the contact between Jamie Benn and Connor Hellebuyck was due to Josh Morrissey pushing him into into Connor Hellebuyck. My apologies. Which, listen, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that Josh Morrissey definitely had an influence on that play. But this is not goalie interference. This is about a stoppage in play. There is, I believe, a rule that has to do with something along the lines of, if there's an imminent scoring chance. But that's not the case here. The puck gets rimmed around the boards, back up to the top of the point. There's probably like 3, 4, 5 seconds before Jason Robertson shoots the puck where the net's just completely empty and Connor Hellebuyck's laying on his stomach with his bare head in his hands. Like, I get if there's an imminent scoring chance. I get that Morrissey pushed him into him. But what is supposed to happen here? Is Connor Hellebuyck supposed to just get up and without a mask try to make a save on a shot from the point, which could be tipped up in his face? He is the most important player on this team. Like, it wasn't even the fact that he was just kind of like laying on the ice trying to sell the call. Like, he genuinely looked hurt. I I don't know what to say. I do not understand how this goal was allowed. But that wasn't even the only one. Like, the refs were pretty brutal in this game. Like, I'll even admit there were some missed calls going both ways. Axel Jonsson-Fjallby should have had there was such an egregious hook. I believe it was in the second period, or maybe the third, I'm not too sure, that wasn't called. So I'm not just saying this from the point of view of a Jets fan who is like, they need to put every call for my team. They were bad. And then we go to the other replay goal, where the puck gets rimmed around the Jets zone and it climbs up the boards, climbs up the glass, hits the netting, and then drops down to the other corner. Immediately, Brendan Dillon and Connor Hellebuyck both, put their hands up in the air. Neil Pionk too. Everyone's saying, "Hey, it went out," and they just stop. And then Jason Robertson, again, this guy just loves picking up pucks that are just free and just throws it on net, and Connor Hellebuyck's doing nothing sitting in front. Like, my main issue here, I have two issues. First of all, refs, what are you doing? Like, there's four of you on the ice and not a single one of you can see that it went out of play. And I get maybe missing, the first initial thing that it goes out and above, but it hits the netting. Like, you can see a ripple in it. And then I have to get on my boys. I have to get on the Jets here. What are you doing? Why are you stopping play? Like, what? Like, one of the most elementary things that you get taught as a hockey player when you're a child is to play till the whistle. I get it went out. I understand. But that does not mean you stop playing, especially when there very clearly was not a whistle. The Jets are lucky that there was a replay that confirmed, what they were saying, because there was very likely that's I can't talk. It's very possible that there's no replay that proves what you're saying. And in that case, sorry, bud, you're shit out of luck. That's a goal. Like, you have to keep playing until the whistle. Like, what are you doing? Like, give your head a shake, guys. That's something where if I'm Rick Bowness, I'm getting real upset with my boys. I'm putting coals to the fire. Like, just other than that, though, we can get into the rest of the game. That was my whole spiel on the reffing, and I felt like I needed to have a little bit of a Everyone's saying I'm fired up, and that's why I can't talk. Again, if you guys are in chat, speak up. It's just me here, so if you got a comment, a question, anything like that, this stream's for everyone, so feel free to join in. Give the stream a like and share it with your friends. Let us know. But yeah, let's go into the game a little bit more broadly. Game starts off, and a minute 30 in. Cole Perfetti. Boy, oh boy, what a game. Ladies and gentlemen, I tweeted this out earlier. I have to mention this. Cole Perfetti is 20 years old. 20 years old. He's going to get better. He's only going to get better. And all I can say is, wow, like this kid is showing that he is here. He's so ready to play. He had a fantastic game tonight. He was lethal. I guess we'll get into the line combinations. They, a bit of a blender today. Dylan DeMello came back from injury, which then of course switches up the D pairs, but even the forwards had a bit of a blender. But yeah, it was a fantastic game from Perfetti. He had a beautiful goal right off the start. Blake Wheeler, great pass to him, good vision. And you got to give credit also to Nate Schmidt, like a fantastic breakout pass. It's the little things that really count in this game, and not enough credit gets given to those breakout passes that start a bunch of the games, or sorry, a bunch of the scoring plays. But yeah, and then the other thing that was a bit of an issue, another thing that you get taught as a child, the first thing is you don't let the other team score the shift after you score. And what happens here? Who is it? Jamie Benn. Let me see. I have a bunch of notes here I got to go through. No, it was Wyatt Johnson, one of the young guys, on a 2-on-1 scores there. I have a bit of an axe to grind with this one. It's a kind of a bit of a broken play. My main gripe is on the defensive pair here. It was Morrissey and DeMello. Morrissey was very, very aggressive in the neutral zone, and that's kind of what starts this play. Because again, it's a 2-on-1. The first thing you ask, where's my other defense? He's in the neutral zone playing really aggressively, which I'm not going to harp on Josh Morrissey too much. I think Dylan DeMello is a bit more at fault on this goal, I'll say. So the play comes in from the right side. I believe it was Jamie Benn comes in, takes a shot, low far pad. Rebound pops right out to Wyatt Johnson, empty net, easy peasy goal. Who in the absolute hell is Wyatt Johnson? He's really good. He's a young guy. He's one of the young guys on Dallas. I think he scored like almost 50 goals in the OHL last year. He's pretty good. So, but still pretty young. Anyways, this goal wasn't specifically because he had like a fantastic play or anything. He was just in the right spot at the right time. And my gripe on this one is DeMello. Again, one of the things you get taught, I didn't play defense, but this is definitely something that you get taught when you do have to cover. But, when you have a 2-on-1 against you, the D-man is usually supposed to pick up the second guy. Make sure that he's covered, because at the end of the day, you have to trust your goalie to be able to stop the shot. And especially when you have Connor Hellebuck in net, you should be pretty confident in the guy to be able to stop just a 1-on-0 with some pressure from the one side. But Dylan DeMello decides that he's going to play the puck on the puck carrier on this one, which again is fine, but there's a little bit of a delay here. He takes a little bit too long to commit to it, which allows Jamie Benn to get that shot off, low far pad, and then Wyatt Johnson sitting out in no man's land all alone, and easy tap in, no big deal. But yeah, so it's 1-1 immediately. The Jets fans don't get a ton of time to celebrate here. Later on in the period, I think it was a couple minutes later, Jansen Harkins on the new look third line. It was Mikey Asamont and Jansen Harkins playing with Adam Lowry, which is a really welcomed change. I've been harping on the previous state of the third line, having Saku Menelainen and Axel Jonsson be there. They just weren't really providing much other than pressure. Like they play hard, they've got good forecheck, but at the end of the day, that third line, the Jets need that third line to be a more effective line. And I gotta say, man, Mikey Eyssimont, I did not expect him to be as good as he's been. You know, I thought he'd have a good couple of games where he really shows that he can try hard. He's got a good motor, but he's providing, like, this game was, he had a fantastic game once again. Like, he scored his first goal the other day, and now he's playing great on that third line, and that was a definitely a deserved bump up. And on this goal, this goal happens because of Mikey Eyssimont. Puck gets dumped in. Mikey Eyssimont forechecks hard, knocks Ryan Suter, a previously very good defenseman, and I would say still a very good defenseman. Right off the puck, goes right over to Adam Lowry. Adam Lowry has the fantastic vision to see Jansen Harkins, streaking on the right, hits him for a 1T, wide open net. You can't ask for much better there. Fantastic play. That was one where that's process of that goal was perfect. Great forecheck, and they got the results. So that's one where I am, I'm super happy. And again, I'm glad to see the guys who've been working hard, have been playing hard. I'm loving Jansen Harkins' start to the season. I'm super glad and happy to see the way he treated his trip down to the Moose. As more of an opportunity to prove himself rather than a negative thing. And since then, he's got his confidence back. He looks great. Like I'm at the end of last season, I would have been happy to just let this guy go for nothing, put him on waivers and let whoever they want to pick him up. And I'm not going to shed a tear. I don't think I'd shed a tear now, but I would be certainly more disappointed than previously. But yeah, he's playing great. Again, a couple minutes later, Jets allow another goal. Has been on the power play. On this one, what I saw, the issue I had with it was that Neil Pionk on the PK is playing like almost at the top of the circles, which is like really extended. I get the idea to have an aggressive PK and try and cause a lot of trouble, but we need you in front of the net, buddy. And then, Nate Schmidt is kind of left all alone in front. He makes the play where he decides to try and play the defenseman who's about to take the shot rather than, just trying to box out and giving Hellebuck a clear sight for the shot, which personally I think would have been the better move. But of course, I'm not in the NHL, and there's probably for very good reason, obviously. But yeah, what can you do? It's a power play goal. The Stars have one of the best power plays in the league. Jets have been really good on the PK, but what can you do? It is what it is. That's just a broken play. And again, you have a little bit more leniency about why the goals against on the PK. Justin Justice TV. Why is Pionk even on the PK? He's an offensive minded guy. Man, I don't know. Like, who else could be on the? Like, I'm just looking. Like, you're absolutely right. I completely agree. To be fair, because especially when you have guys like Brendan Dillon, Dylan DeMello, Dylan Sandberg, Josh Morrissey. These are all guys who I would certainly pick to put on the PK above Pionk. And especially with the season that Pionk's having defensively, I know he's having a pretty decent season offensively. He's getting a lot of points, but yeah, I completely agree. I personally wouldn't have him on the PK. What else do I have here? My next note is about the new look first line and second line. Every single line got jumbled up this game. I guess we can talk about that now. Rick Bowness decides to go with with moving Kyle Connor down to play with Pierre-Luc Dubois, and then with him is Sam Gagner, and then on the top line you have Mr. Cole Perfetti, as I've already given him plenty of praise this game, and then of course Blake Wheeler. I know we've seen a lot of Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler in the past, but I'm definitely willing to give it much more of a runway, especially under a new coach who's gonna hold those guys a little bit more accountable, and both of those guys are having much better seasons. So I'm not going to complain like how we used to if we saw Scheifele and Wheeler together, because I think it's a different time. If it was under Paul Maurice, I'd be screaming and scratching my eyes out. But I can't complain with how Rick Bowness has kind of deployed the team. I do find it very interesting that they are kind of sticking Cole Perfetti with Blake Wheeler. Like I think he's played with him the entire season. Maybe they're trying to go, hey, like you're a playmaking guy. We have this other playmaking guy who was really good for a long time. Maybe you should learn from him. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Maybe just a little bit of a little tangent. But yeah, that top line looked dangerous today. Cole Perfetti playing with Mark Scheifele, chef's kiss. And Blake Wheeler had a fantastic game too. Like again, he had the assist on that first goal there. And other than that, like he looked great today. He had an assist on the winning goal, which we'll get into shortly in a bit. Man, I'm just sitting here going, boy, I want to see a Perfetti, Scheifele, Ehlers line. That's gonna be nice, in my opinion. Like I think the way that this Jets team becomes its playoff form is they have to, obviously I think they have to add someone in the middle six. I saw a couple of people mentioning it in chat, but and some people have been saying it on Twitter. Sam Reinhart is a guy a lot of people are talking about, because I think the Panthers are having some cap troubles with having some guys coming off their IR. Absolutely. Like I personally haven't been ringing that bell because I don't think that Sam Reinhart's going to become available, but Sam Reinhart, that he would look good in a Jets sweater. He's exactly what the Jets need. But as I was saying, the kind of format that I think that the Jets need in order to become their playoff style is they need to add someone in the middle six in order to afford them to be able to bump Blake Wheeler out of the top six and into the top nine. Again, not at all I don't want this to be seen as me saying Blake Wheeler needs a demotion, but I think of the guys in that top six, other than Sam Gagner, which I'll speak about in a moment, I think that if you can afford to bump him out, that gives you three really great scoring lines. Again, I think that Lowry and Wheeler together would be fantastic, and again, you can play them in the hard minutes. And then put them with, a scoring winger. And there you go. You have three scoring lines and one of the best shutdown lines as your fourth line. Because that fourth line, David Gustafsson, everyone hop on the Gus bus. That guy is fantastic. He does not lose any board battles. Justin TV, just say it. Wheeler needs a demotion. No, I don't think that, and I don't. Again, I want this to be clear. I don't think it's a thing where he is playing bad and deserves to be bumped down. I just think that the best version of the Jets has him on the third line. But yeah, the second line today, the Connor and Dubois with Sam Gagner line was kind of got killed today. I think they had the hardest competition, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I unfortunately didn't see who they were playing against most of the time. But Connor and Dubois, Dubois feeds Connor for that fantastic goal. I believe it was in the third. Yeah, it was in the third. Near the end, that fourth goal was beautiful. Dubois streaking in on the right side, passes it out front, and Kyle Connor, he might have even batted that out of the air. I don't know if it was firmly on the ice or not. It looked like he batted it out of the air. But I'm very happy to see that Kyle Connor's, getting rolling again. I think he should be playing with Dubois. That's where he played all of last year, where he got his 47 goals. And I think that provides a little bit more balance to the top six, to have him on that second line, because then you have, again, I'm a big proponent of being consistently good and being able to consistently outplay your opponents, no matter which line is on. You don't want to have to be relying on line matching in order to get the right matchups. You should be able to roll your team out as you want them to come out and let the other team respond. And then Sam Gagner, man, like, this is a guy who we've been prior, when Appleton was in the top six, prior to his injury, we were all kind of clamoring for Gagner to get a little bit more time. And I'll be honest, other than that first game, he played with him, and I thought that he had a pretty garbage game today. The only thing of note was in the second period, he drew a penalty, just working hard in the corner. But other than that, like, man, that guy can't stay on his feet. He just looks out of place. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of him right now. I think he deserves to be bumped down into the bottom six, which actually happened at the end of the game. Axel Janssen Fjallby kind of took his spot for a little bit, who I thought had a pretty good game. He had a really nice assist on the, what was it, the third goal? I want to say it was the third goal. It was the one that Lowry scored with like at like 8:04 of the. At like 8:04, I have it written down here. At 8:04 in the second period, the Jets are, another fantastic third line shift. And again, that third line looked great. I can't say it enough. They looked so much better than they have in the past with Janssen Fjallby and Menelainen on that line. Previously had those guys, and now of course they had Harkins and Asimont. And this goal was just a good hardworking goal. Like they were cycling the puck well. Puck goes up to the top. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dylan DeMello. Actually, it was Dylan DeMello. He got his I think his first 5v5 point of the year, which is kind of rough, but hey, he's not there for points. He's there to be a good defender. He takes a bit of a shot, and Janssen Fjallby has the great mind to see Adam Lowry to his right and do this nice little tip pass right onto his stick. And again, Lowry, Ottinger's expecting a shot from Dylan DeMello. Again, it gets tipped from Janssen Fjallby, goes over to the other side of the net, and Lowry's there to put it home. A fantastic goal, beautiful. And I'm really glad to see that Janssen Fjallby got the bump up, because, like I said, Gagne has been kind of stale on that line in the top six, and with the whole what's it called? With the whole Rick Bonus accountability stuff, it was really glad to see that he recognized that Gagne's been playing kind of rough, and Janssen Fjallby had a good game. So that switch was kind of necessary, I would say. What else here? I mean, we're getting kind of near the end of it, but we'll just run through the game kind of as a whole. Again, that first period, the Jets played, I think, pretty well for the first 10, 15 minutes of it, but then they got absolutely dominated in the last 5 minutes of the first. Moving on to the second, Lowry's line started. Asimont drew a penalty, and then the power play went on. I have to add in a quick little thing here. Again, on Gagne, get him off that PP1. He does not deserve to be there, unfortunately. You could put any guy in the middle there. I would love to see, again, Cole Perfetti be put on that power play one. I like him a lot on that kind of flank outside shot where he's on his I believe his strong side on the left side. He's not open for the one timer, but he rather does kind of like the Nick Ehlers style of getting the pass and kind of walking in. He's been really using that like toe drag shot recently a lot. He had a couple chances tonight with it. And again, he's a good shooter. So like, I think that's a great spot for him. He can dish from there, and then he can also, be an effective shooter. And then that gives you the opportunity to put Mark Scheifele in the middle. And that's a guy who, in the middle of the slot, money, absolute money. I think that's kind of the right way to run that power play until Nick Ehlers comes back. But anyways, we'll move on because I got not too much time here. What else? Geez. Again, the second period was really good by the Jets. I'm really glad to see they came back out after getting kind of dominated at the end of the first. They played really well. They outshot them. I think it was like 11-7 or so. And yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of notes here about a lot of random stuff, but moving on to the third, what was it? Yeah, the switching of the lines. Oh my God, Connor Hellebuck absolutely robs Tyler Seguin. I think that was on the power play. Janssen Fjallby got a penalty in deep, and the Jets go to the PK. Jason Robertson rips a shot from the right side, or if you're Hellebuck, from your left side, if you're the Stars and you're looking at the goalie from the right side, he shoots far post, hits the post, ding, right off it, goes right onto Tyler Seguin's stick in the slot. Absolutely wide open net. Connor Hellebuck, like a pool boy with a net, stretching to grab some leaves. He stretches back with that paddle and just absolutely huge save. Absolutely huge save. I think NHL already tweeted out, go watch it if you missed it. Absolute beauty. This is why this guy is the most important guy on the team. Fantastic. Again, third period keeps going. Oh geez, dumb penalty was taken by, who was it? I think it was Schmidt. Schmidt just like cross checks a guy in front for no reason. Again, as I'm also a ref. I ref hockey, or at least I used to ref hockey. One of the big things is I can't stand when defensemen in front of the net are cross-checking. Just take one hand off. You can push like this. You can push with both hands, and you're not going to get a penalty. You can box a guy out like that. You're not going to get a penalty. But he, goes a little bit crazy on the guy. Then, of course, the Jets go to the PK. And on that PK, Neil Pionk also takes a penalty. And he's really lucky that Rupe Hintz here retaliated, because he cross-checked him like 4 times in front. Like 1, 2, 3. Hintz goes down, and as he's on the ground, he gives him another shot. Like, I don't understand Neil Pionk, why he had to continue to keep cross-checking. And he was very lucky that Rupe Hintz turned around and gave him some business back, because I don't think the refs were going to call it, but that absolutely should be a penalty. And then, and then it kind of works out, because Neil Pionk takes off Rupe Hintz, one of the best guys on the other team, when they're trying to tie it up. And unfortunately, it doesn't work, as I said. And then the whole kerfuffle with the goal that was not called off. And then here we are again. The Jets have blown a 2-goal lead. I guess it was a 3-goal lead the other night, but the Jets have blown a 2-goal lead, and we're going into overtime. Who's going to score? Who's going to score other than Josh Morrissey? What a season this guy's having. I wouldn't say he's in the Norris, contention. I know some people are saying it, the whole Norrisy chat is going on. I don't think he actually is there, unfortunately, but I'm happy to pump the guy's tire. He's having a great season, and he's really showing up when the Jets need him. And the Jets skate out with 2 points. Unfortunately, they let the Stars get 1 point here. Again, that goal should have been called off, but at the end of the day, the Jets shouldn't have let them even get there to that point. This was a 4-point game, a really important game in the Central. Dallas is at the top of the Central right now. And, the Jets aren't too far back, with Colorado also in the mix. So it's great that the Jets got 2 points. It kind of sucks that they let the Stars get back in it and get the 1 point. But again, for how that game went, considering, the chances on both ends of the ice, the Jets are kind of lucky to have gotten out with a win on that one, but they also kind of played to their strengths, which is, we have a really good goalie, and we have a bunch of good guys who can finish the play. There we go. But yeah, so again, and end of the game, Jets win 5-4. It was a real it had my heart beating. I was kind of scared, but again, the Jets come out on top. And I will say, in the grand scheme of things, considering their last game against the Minnesota Wild, I thought they, regardless of the fact that it was not the best game by the Jets and they did get outplayed, I still thought they played much better. And it's at least very good to see that, that Minnesota Wild game that was the other day isn't the reality of this team. I mean, maybe it is, but I guess only time will tell. But yeah, nothing really else to talk about that game. If you have any other statements, any questions, throw them in the chat right now. I'll give you guys 1 second. I think we're going to sign off. Ooh, tough to do a bit of a monologue. But I also kind of just went. Alrighty, I'm not seeing too much from the chat. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. That was a great game. Jets are back in action, I believe, on Sunday. I think you guys are going to have Liz back on the mic. I'm not sure if she has a guest planned or not. But yeah. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Give me a follow on Twitter at NHL Chunky. Of course, follow at SDPN Sports. Check out the merch shop. There's some new Game Over merch that came out. There's ones with the actual the little game over guy wearing the Jets jersey. So I've got one coming in the mail. I'm real excited to get that. And it's Black Friday. So, check it out while the deals are still on. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you all for tuning in, and share with a friend, like the stream, follow us on, subscribe, all that stuff. Anyways, have yourselves a great evening. Enjoy your weekends. Thank you all for tuning in.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.